How could Lord Galvatron be killed? He was embedded with the blood of Unicron!
Well, he was disarmed, shot with his own fusion cannon, and stabbed with Longfang's sword.
Thank you, Commander Obvious. How about I point out that you were shot in the spark chamber?
Whoa! Take it easy, Skywarp.
Take it easy. First we lost Duststorm, and now we lost our master. Our numbers are dwindling, and the Autobots have a Predacon combiner. All we have are poor excuses for deadly Decepticons and a brute who doesn't even have any hands.
Well, technically I have a claw hand, so that's not entirely true.
Why me? Why was I left out in the middle of nowhere with morons who can't even shoot scraplets in a barrel?
In my defense, I don't even have blasters.
Shut your yap!
Thanks, Rampage.
Oh, you guys are back. What's the report of your patrol?
Not much, just a big hunk of nothing.
Odd. No Decepticon activity for weeks now. Maybe they're planning something?
Doubt it. They're probably still wigging out about when Longfang drove his sword through their master's spark chamber.
Maybe, but it can still be a possibility.
Should we try to search for more Autobots?
Considering what happened the last time we found an Autobot, it's not exactly on the top of my to-do list right now.
Well, Tanker was killed the last time we found a supposed Autobot. We must remain vigilant and continue to find other Autobot brothers. Agreed. If we ever want to put an end to this war, we'll need all the help we can get.
Does anybody even know where we are?
We think we lost.
Wow, look how smart you are. Dumb animal.
Jeez, Skywarp, calm down. We know you're upset that Lord Galvatron was killed, but you need to move on.
What a great observation. If Lord Galvatron could be killed, then I might as well fall flat on my face.
Did he just predict the future?
Shut up, you stupid scruffy. Ugh, what did I even trip over?
Impossible.
So it's a symbol. Cybertron's covered in them. Big whoop. Moving on.
Do you know what this symbol means?
Food?
No, slobberpuss. This is the symbol of the deadliest group of Decepticons ever to walk the face of Cybertron. The smaller markings look like directions. Indeed. They say that they're located somewhere near the edge of the Sea of Rust.
And that, my friends, is where we are going.
Isn't the Autobot base near there?
What does it matter? Once we find these warriors, we'll be able to vanquish the Autobots with one fell swoop, since we know the location of their base.
Okay, now that the handle is adjusted, just gotta reinstall the sight and adjust the chamber size so it's big enough for the ammo to pass through. What the? Proximity sensors are going off. Something or someone is passing by the base, just barely inside the range of the sensors. Maybe I'll trail behind them, see why they're passing so close to the base.
Are we there yet?
We'll get there when we get there.
Oh, chill out, Skywarp. Besides, we're here.
I don't get it. Who even are these Decepticons?
They were the most feared combat group, more so than even combiners. They fought with the strength of 1,000 soldiers, and those that tasted the bite of their blades named them Titans.
Correct, Bone Crusher. Now that the details are out of the way, remain here. I'll be back.
Titans? Sounds familiar. Better keep an eye on these guys.
Alright, the symbol we found said that they would be in a heavily armored prison cell. So where would that... Ugh, twice in one day. This sucks. Well, here goes nothing. Brothers! Titans! Look at you in your squalid prison! Who put you down there?
Autobots!
And now that I set you free, what is the first thing you're going to
Destroy them!
do? Good answer.
Say
Do I have to? It's demeaning. Fine. Crush! Autobots!
Annihilate them!
Grind them into the dust.
River to shreds.
I can't believe it. You're the Titans.
Yes, we are. Where's Lord Megatron?
About that. Two things. He was reformatted into Galvatron after encountering Unicron, and he's no longer with us.
Impossible.
That's what I said! He was the most powerful Decepticon on the face of Cybertron!
Who killed him? The boy in red, blue, and the funny-looking mask?
Worse. A Predacon traitor who goes by the name Longfang.
Beastly filth vanquished our lord and master. I'll see that every last one of our enemies are terminated. Be they Autobot or Decepticon.
So, we never got your names.
That's Warzone, Skyroller, and Road Rage. I am Dreadnought.
Nice. I got a sparring partner. Huh, Warzone?
Don't get your hopes up. Poor Warzone's a softie.
What?
He's never killed an Autobot in his life. What a loser. Can I send his head railing?
Silence! The lot of you! I'm detecting 2 Autobot life signals due east. One very familiar. You ready, Titans?
Oh yes, finally some more unlikely Autobots to add to the kill count.
Can't wait to blast them till kingdom come.
I guess.
Let's have some fun.
Uh-oh. Better try to help those guys by getting some backup. Roadbuster base. We have a situation.
When are we going to find any other Autobots, Sandblast? We've been looking all over this barren wasteland for cycles, and there's nothing. Why don't we just stop and rest for a few days?
Be patient, Blowback. Besides, you know why we can't. If we stay in one place too long, we run the risk of hostiles picking up our signals and finding us.
Or friendlies who can help us. I'm just saying, we gotta think about if we're never gonna find anybody.
Don't give up hope just yet. I've got some readings.
So? What is it?
I don't know. All I know is that something or someone's in the area. Hear that?
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from that direction.
Aerial bot or Seeker?
Too big.
Megatron?
It doesn't look like it. Blowback. Move.
Why? Is it a Decepticon?
Worse. Now move. Double time. Oh, my head.
Sandblast! You okay?
Yeah, just some dents. I'll be fine.
Lonesomeness waits, and dreams in the deep, and decay spreads over tottering cities of men.
Dreadnought. You're even uglier than before.
You know this guy?
Why, of course. It isn't every day you get reunited with your old teacher.
You taught this freak?
A story for another time.
I've waited a long time for this. Goodbye, Sandblast. Who dares? How about attack?
Wait, must we always resort to violence?
Can it, Bigfoot? And open fire!
You're mine, Groot.
So, you must be the Predacon that betrayed your own kind and killed your master. How ironic to think that you are a Decepticon and I an Autobot. And now our roles are reversed. Do I know you? Fortunately not, but you should.
Please, why must we always fight?
What are you talking about?
Why can't we just make peace with each other and move on?
Come on, Warzone. You can do better than that. What's life without a little risk? Now get off your arse and take a gamble for once in your life.
You think you can run away from what you've done? Just taste my blade! I haven't had this much fun since I got locked up in that prison! We need not prolong this fight any longer. Autobots, return to base! Scrap, they got away. Clinging cowards.
What happened?
The Autobrats got away, and Warzone didn't even try to fight.
You fool!
I've had enough of this nonsense. This has been an ongoing problem. You're a Titan. We take no prisoners, have no mercy, and most importantly, we kill our enemies. If you won't do that willingly, then I'll force you.
How Dreadnought do that?
By bringing him under my complete control. Let's return to our old base. I have much to do in my lab.
Well, it's a little more than a few dents, but nothing major. You'll be fine. Just try to take it easy for the next day or two.
Thanks, Roadbuster. I really owe you one.
Alright, now that we got that out of the way, I want to know something. Who were those guys, and how did you know this Deadnought, Sandblast?
To answer your first question, they are an elite subclass of Decepticons known as Titans. They are without mercy and are extremely feared by all Autobots. I too share Blowback's interest in how you knew Dreadnought.
Understandable. Dreadnought wasn't always a Titan, or a Decepticon for that matter. It was in the late period of the war. The Decepticons had their claws buried deep in Cybertron's energon deposits, and we were running at an all-time low on the stuff. I tried to solve the problem by making synthetic energon, which makes any who use it stronger and faster. A rookie Autobot scientist, Toolbox, was my lab assistant and helped me gather the materials. I managed to succeed, and the war started to go our way. However, Toolbox thought we needed to do more. So he got to thinking, if we could synthesize a new type of energon, we could potentially turn the tide of the war. He decided to go behind my back and synthesize all of the known types of energon together. Blue energon, red energon, the synthetic energon I made, Tox N, and the most difficult to get, dark energon. He kept me in the dark, saying he was just perfecting the synthetic formula, so I never really knew what was going on. He stayed in his lab for days, until he finally completed his project. He called it Alpha Energon. While this was going on, we started testing the Synthen on smaller machines as to not risk Autobot lives. But the more we tested, the more our energon supply dropped. Eventually, we were running on fumes. Literally. Toolbox thought long and hard about what was happening, and eventually decided to do something risky and use the Alpha Energon on himself. The Energon was still in the beginnings of its testing phase, so he didn't know the extent of its side effects. But Toolbox didn't care, and injected it into himself. All I heard after that was the loud, terrifying screams coming from his lab as the toxin component broke down his systems, one subnet at a time. The red energon significantly sped up this process, while the dark energon building on top of the broken foundations was keeping him alive. When I entered his lab, it was a mess. I heard groaning coming from a corner in the room. I walked over to see if he was alright, and when he emerged from the darkness, I immediately knew that the toolbox I knew was gone. The figure that stood before me was a result of the Alpha Energon breaking him apart and building him back together, producing new parts for the ones that withered away. All that ever was and ever would have been Toolbox was gone. The abomination escaped the lab, tearing apart everything in its path, and eventually escaped the base. The Alpha Energon annihilated his endoskeleton, and the Dark Energon component allows him to move his body in horrific ways. Toolbox may have been destroyed, but Dreadnought retained his high intelligence and uses that to his advantage, creating either weapons for himself or items that cause havoc to whoever they touch.
So he's a monstrosity. Remind me to shoot him from afar.
Why were the Titans in that building where we fought them at?
Me and a large group of Autobots ambushed them and managed to immobilize them long enough to put them in a high-powered barrier cell. It was strong enough to contain them, but we didn't want anybody to forget that they were there and set them free. So we marked the outside of the building with their symbol to warn anyone who comes near it.
I see. So one thing, what do you think we should do about these Titans? As much as it pains me to stay at Rampage, I haven't a clue. My expertise is with enemies that I know or know how their kind was. Unfortunately, I don't know either of these new enemies. At the moment, it seems our only chance to defeat Dreadnought and the Titans is with Sandblast leading the charge. So what are you saying, Sandblast? Do you wish to lead us into the upcoming battles?
I'm honored by your offer, Longfang. I will accept this burden and fight the Titans until they are defeated or die trying.
So where would they be now?
I don't know, but something tells me that Dreadnought had a lot of time to think of new, twisted creations to make.
He's been in there for a while now. What's he making? He said something about bringing Warzone under his complete control, so that tells me he's gonna try and do that.
I have finished my project. Where's Warzone?
Flatfoot's with Drillmeister over there.
Warzone, come here.
What do you need?
I just wanted to show you something that I made. I call it a possession mask. Just a little something to get you in the fighting spirit and to make you follow my every command. Decepticons, meet the